Today we're going to take a look at designing and preparing to cut a 5-inch square maze on our CNC mill. To begin, we're going to start with New from the top ribbon bar, Standard IPT, and click Create. Beginning with a 2D sketch on my XY plane, I'm going to click Front View to zoom all. I'm going to begin with a rectangle from my origin and stretch it up into the right hand quadrant. My horizontal dimension is 5, press the Tab key. My vertical dimension is 5, press the Enter key on the keyboard. Next we're going to finish sketch. I'm going to go home. I'm going to click Extrude, and I want to extrude in direction number 2 to keep my sketch plane on the front, and I want to extrude 0.75, which is 3/4 of an inch, and click OK. Next I'm going to take a 2D sketch, place it on my front view, zoom all, and I'm going to take and begin with a rectangle tool. This is our square maze. I'm going to click and stretch out a rectangle. This innermost square is going to be 0.22. Press the Tab key by 0.22 and press Enter on the keyboard. Next we need to locate this square that we just drew in the center. So I press the Escape key and get my dimension tool. I want to click the left hand side of this square, left hand side of the workpiece, bring this down. This dimension here is 2.39, green check mark. I want to dimension again from the bottom of this square that we just drew to the bottom of my workpiece. 2.39 is my dimension to center it, green check mark. Next we're going to use our offset tool. I'm going to offset, and I'm going to be alternating by clicking my square, stretch this out, 0.25, press the Enter key. And then I'm going to keep alternating to 0.22, press the Enter key, 0.25, press the Enter key, 0.22, Enter key. And we're going to keep alternating 0.22 and 0.25 until we get to the limit of our workpiece. This should be our last one. Press the Escape key. Now you also want to check. Let me zoom in here a little bit. So I want to have 0.22 as my center, and then 0.25, 0.22, 0.25, 0.22, 0.25, 0.22, 0.25, 0.22. These should alternate all the way to the extent, and your last one is going to be 0.22. Next we're going to be taking and drawing some lines on here, and we're going to be trimming them, so we have to get some of these dimensions off of here for us to not run into a problem with constraints. So I'm going to either click and press Delete key, or right click and delete. Either way works. And when I'm going to remove these dimensions, it helps me see what I'm doing as well. Next I'm going to take and get my line tool. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to click when I get a green point and come straight up. Make sure you have your object snap. That's that little gray box that follows your cursor up. Press the Escape key, line tool again. Come straight up. Click. And now we're going to use our trim tool. We're going to take and trim, starting in my center. This is where the BB begins. I'm going to come straight up, trim these two lines out, and those two. This next one, so my BB comes out. There's a wall here. This is a groove for the BB. And this one I can trim out as well to let those go through and get rid of the rest of the lines. Press the Escape key. Let's go to the right hand side. Starting at the bottom of this inner square, come straight out. Once again, you want to look for that object snap. Click to place that line. Bring this guy out again. Make sure you have your object snap. Click to place that. And then we're going to trim again. This one here, we're going to come out of our box. We're going to cut through this wall here. This wall we're going to skip. And this wall we're going to cut through as well. get rid of the tags on the end. It's looking good. Line tool again, we're going to come straight down. Make sure you have that object snap. Line tool again. Start in your center with the green dot, come straight down. Press the escape key. We can also take, this is my track. This is going to be a wall. And I'm going to trim out the items that I don't want. So you can start beginning to follow this along with your cursor to get your BB out of the center groove. This one we're going to cut through. That's looking good. One more side to go. Start on the bottom, come out to the left hand side, make sure you get your green dot when you begin and your straightness snap or your object snap when you're finished stretching it out. And we're going to trim. Press the escape key. Now you can use your mouse kind of like the BB maze. You start in the middle and you can work your way out. Make sure that the slot for the BB to roll around it does not cross the wall. Okay, so that looks good. Next we're going to finish sketch. We're going to come in and extrude. I'm going to select the area where my BB is going to roll around in. Then I want this to cut, so I'm going to select my second button down for cutting. And I'm going to cut a depth of 0.25, quarter inch, and click OK. That looks great. Let's go up to the orange capital letter I. We're going to save as. Make sure this is going into your H drive, first initial last name 000. And we're going to call this 5-inch maze and click Save. You can also add more slots in there if you want to make it more challenging, but this is a good place to start. Next, we're going to take and run our toolpaths. So I'm going to come up to my ribbon bar, and above the top where my tabs are, I want to select the cam tab at the top. And first thing I want to do is set up my workpiece. Right here where it says work coordinate system for the origin, I want to change from stock block point to model origin. Coming over next tab, I want to change my thickness to my workpiece, which is 0.75. I have 3/4 inch board that we're going to be cutting. In my post process, I'm going to enter in a program comment of 5. I'm going to put my name in the front of this, of course. So name and then 5-inch square maze, and click OK. Once my workpiece is set up, I'm going to come to my 2D milling area here, and I'm going to select 2D pocket. I'm going to choose my tool first. Now once again, these tabs work top to bottom, and then work the tabs left to right. So starting with the leftmost one, we're going to select our tool. And over here on the left hand side, I want to find Sample Tools Inch. And then on the right hand side in this window, I'm going to scroll down until I find my 1/8 inch flat end mill. I want to choose my third 1/8 inch flat end mill down and click Select. Moving across, I'm going to select my geometry. Now here it's kind of hard to do this, so I'm going to scroll in and zoom in a little bit. And once I have the track where the BB is going to roll around in highlighted, I'm going to click. And then I'm going to return to home. Okay, I have the bottom area selected. Next I'm going to come across to the next tab where I choose my heights. My clearance height I'm going to change to stock top, and the clearance offset is going to be 0.2. Let's take a look at retract height, stock top and 0.2, that one's fine. Feed height I'm going to change to stock top and 0.2, that looks good. Next we're going to come to passes, and I'm going to come to where it says stock to leave. I'm going to deselect this box, uncheck that. Next, come to my linking parameters, come straight down, I'm going to uncheck lead in, uncheck lead out, and my entry ramp I'm going to change from helix to plunge. And once I have that selected, I'm going to choose OK. That runs our tool paths. I'm going to click simulate and click play. And that's going to take and run your tool around your maze the way that it's going to cut on the CNC mill. When that finishes, click close, and we're going to select post process from the toolpath area. Once again, when I save this, I want to choose the 1_Butler MS Techno ESO. That's the name of our mill. If that's not selected, it should be at the top of the list. And then I also want to choose my H drive. That's your first initial last name 000, and click open. I'm going to change the program comment here to my name and then 5-inch square maze. Once you have your name in there for the program comment, click post. Once again, type your name, and 5-inch square maze. I'll put a space in there. And click save. Next, our M&G Code file editor opens up. When this opens, you can just click the big X in the upper right hand corner. Let's go up to the orange capital letter I. Let's update by saving. Then we're going to X out or minimize Inventor. We're going to go over to the computer that has the CNC mill tag on it, and I'm going to find this icon on the desktop. Click the CNC mill. We're going to go to Translate Execute. We're going to go to our H drive by selecting over here on the left hand side. First initial last name 000. I'm going to choose my 5-inch square maze and click open. Click OK, and I'm going to preview. Next, you're going to take and press S on the keyboard and F on the keyboard, and this is where you are going to stop. Go get your teacher. They will help you load the workpiece, and you're going to be able to cut your part today. Great job. Go find your teacher and have them come and help you load the workpiece.